Good afternoon. Today, as part of the Use Communication to Build Relationships topic, we're doing a role play. I've got my friend here, Kimberly, to assist, and she's going to be playing Mica, who's a young refugee guy that is being present in one of our small courses on resume. It was a workshop for resume building for 2 days. And wants to put in a complaint. So Kimberly, before we go on, or Mica, should I say, I just need you to agree to this statement, please. It is our video recording statement for TAFE Queensland. Just to properly introduce myself, my name is Astrid Wall, and here is my student card. My student number is 46202626. Kimberly, I'm going to read you the statement now. Yeah. This recording will be used for the purpose of my education and training and will only be used, viewed and stored by TAFE Queensland's as per TAFE Queensland's privacy policy, which is available on the TQ's website and only accessed by TAFE Queensland staff. Do you provide your consent to be recorded in this activity and for TAFE Queensland to use this recording for educational purposes?
Yes.
Thanks for coming in today, Mica. My name's Astrid Wall, and I'm one of the youth workers here. You might have seen me around before. I understand that you'd like me to give you a bit of a hand filling out a complaints form today.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine with me. That's what I'm here for. And so I understand also that you've come out from you're a refugee out here in Australia, and you've not come out that long ago, and you've done year 12.
Yeah.
That's an excellent, good job for that.
Thanks.
Yeah, you must have been through a lot with your family and everything. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's got to be really hard, and for you to, go through all of that and still do your 12 and then come to us and have aspirations of being, in the ICT world is actually really good. So it's, I'm pretty sure you'll make your family proud at the end of the day. And
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. And not only that, you'll have an enjoyable career. So, yeah, it's a really good job. Well done. Do you want a water or anything like that before we start?
Okay.
Because what we're going to do is we're just going to head straight into this form, and I'll fill it out. You just tell me, I'll fill it out. And it might probably take maybe half an hour or so, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
So I've given you a form in front of you there so that you can follow along, grab a pen, you can fill it out if you like. But at the end of this, I'm going to get you to sign it, and I'll sign it too, and we'll take a copy. We'll give the original to our management team.
Yeah.
Now, looking at that form here, it will say that there's a 10-day amount days for us to respond. So do expect us to take 10 days. The management are going to take it away to make a decision. Okay. So just to reiterate too, anything that I say is between us in here today. However, there is the complaint process, which will mean that the others get a right of reply. So we might question them, for instance, on some of these things that happened on that day.
Yep.
Okay, so personal details. So I've got your name here. Mica. You live at 2 Baronia Court, Always Beach. And just tell me your phone number again, please, Mica.
0481726452.
Great. 0481726452. Okay. Have you lodged a complaint with our organisation before? Yes or no?
No.
No. Very good. Now, am I right in saying today that you're sort of making 2 complaints? One's against the child, the young fella in the class that said the words, and there was also one against your caseworker as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to note that down here. We're going to fill out 1 complaint form, but essentially we'll put 2 complaints on it. Okay, so details of the complaint. Okay, the employee, I'll put Morgan Vu Lewis, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, great. And it was, and the main complainant here is it what was his name again? Do you know his name?
James.
Yeah, it's just
Diamond
checking.
Cross, yeah.
James Hogan, I've got him down as that's the right guy, isn't it? Yeah. And, okay, we've got a thing called specific incident here. I'm gonna put it down as, discrimination as well as bullying, because you said it sort of happened repetitively. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just sort of putting together, aren't they? Okay, so the next question, if I could get you to sort of just cast your memory back, and if you sort of just speak about it, I'm going to take some details down.
Yeah.
Just try and get as much detail as you can, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So on Tuesday and Wednesday last week, when I was in my workshop, James started making comments in front of other people saying that that refugees shouldn't be in this class, and that we don't speak proper English, and that we've taken it away from other people that should be in the program. And then another time when we were out on our lunch break as well, he started laughing with all of his friends and saying that his dad said that refugees are just here to take all of Australia's money. I tried to address this with my caseworker the next day, and my caseworker basically told me that James wouldn't say something like that. And that did I mishear him or something like that? Yeah, it just made me feel really dismissed, and like I tried to talk out about it, but my caseworker didn't listen. So
you've definitely been really brave in that respect. So you've done all the right things. So, you know, you've tried to work it out. And those things that are said are definitely hurtful sort of remarks. And I can understand, you know, you've come all the way out. We've had a whole lot of, you know, dangers that we can't even think about here in Australia. You come out, you're sitting in a course, you feel completely safe and like we're all friends here, and then you hear that sort of thing. I can imagine it's not only hurtful, but really just, you know, I'm sorry about that. So, you know, you're not taking anyone's space in that room. You got in on your own merits. And if someone else wants to get in, they've just got to put their own enrollment in like you did. So you're not getting any special treatment. You just got in like everybody else, and you deserve to do that. Okay. So I've got down here, I was just noting while you were saying all that, where did it happen? It happened at the resume writing workshop in the room 3A, correct?
yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned that also during lunch? In lunchtime?
Yeah, when we went to have our lunch break.
Okay, and that was out in that patio area back there,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. And he had all his friends around. So I've got that down as Tuesday and Wednesday, the 25th and 26th of February.
Yep.
Yeah. Who was involved? Okay, if it says here, list all the persons involved and the witnesses. So just like I understand you probably don't know everyone in the class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a few of them were James's friends.
We've got James, we've got you, we've got
So there was a
Morgan.
girl called
Yeah.
Kelly.
Kelly.
Then there was Zach and Max, who were
Mhm.
also in our class. And then my caseworker too. So
And I guess there was others, but you don't know their name.
I don't know their names. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
You've done well to just know those ones anyway, so that's plenty. Thank you very much. The next question is pretty much the same actually, but did you notice anybody else that may have witnessed it from a distance? Like, where is our staff member? Were they out of the room at the time? Like,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
just the people that I said.
Okay.
And I don't know whether they'd be willing to come forward considering they were friends with James. So
yeah, we'll find out, but you never know. Like, I'm not even aware myself whether they're actually a friendship group or they've just come together for the purpose of that. And they only just laughed. They didn't actually respond back, did they?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I understood. So really we don't know. It might be just James and they've just sort of laughed along with it. So, but we'll get to the bottom of it. So thank you for that. Any other relevant details? So, you've mentioned in here, that you've sort of been from, you know, a place of trauma. And so, and that you also mentioned that you've got a counsellor that you see in another organisation. So I'm sort of thinking it probably wouldn't hurt to touch base with them, and I can do a referral back for you if you like, and tell them a little bit about what's happened so that they can read up on it and they can ring you and make an appointment. Is that something you'd like?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. And that was, I've got the organisational details there on another page in here somewhere. So I'll double check that with you at the end if you wouldn't mind. Sure. Okay, great. Have you discussed the matter with the person involved? Have you talked to James?
No, I haven't talked to James. I was a little bit too scared to ask him or approach him about it, just being with how my case manager dismissed it. So
yeah, I understand. So you've already raised it with the appropriate person. So why would you raise it again? Since I get that. Thank you for that. Probably the next question we need to ask here, and I don't know whether you've thought about it or not. It's probably something you don't think about. You're sort of probably too emotional, maybe even. I don't know. You sound pretty organised. So, have you thought about how this might look if we were to resolve it with James and, you know, anyone involved? What would happen? What would you be happy with to happen?
I think I'd really appreciate an apology from James, but only if it's sincere, not like he's been forced to apologise.
Sure.
And then I was also thinking that maybe the school could integrate something about cultures and about refugees into their classes, so that people have a sort of awareness about what's going on. It might stop it happening to other people in the future as well.
I think that's a great idea, because truthfully, that's probably part of the problem here, is that, you know, James's dad doesn't understand, James doesn't understand, and, you know, it's a lack of education. So, you know, we might give, what do you think about James having a little bit of training too? As well as the class, and any future classes we could integrate it, which I think is an excellent idea. Thank you.
I also would really like another case manager as well, caseworker.
Yep, no, that's good.
Yeah, I just feel a bit dismissed and disrespected that I've tried to bring up something that's upset me with my case manager, and, you know, he just basically turned me away. So if I could get another case manager, someone that's a bit more understanding of my culture and my expectations as a student, I'd really appreciate that. Yeah,
I've taken that down, and that sounds completely reasonable to me. Again, I'm not making the resolution on this, you know, to be talked about, but I think that's a great idea. You need to feel that you are, you know, in a trusted sort of position there, and that you're being listened to, and then you'll feel more confident in reaching your own career goals and aspirations as well. And so that's a great idea. And as far as Morgan goes, look, he's been with us for a little while. So, and we do have some in-house training, but I might, you know, we'll suggest that maybe that, you know, that he's talked to, which he will get talked to as part of this investigation, and maybe some extra training for him just on, you know, just maybe even listening and taking things more seriously.
That sounds good.
Yeah, because these accusations are, to me, they're serious, you know, and so both of them, bullying and discrimination, they don't serve any good purpose for anyone. And definitely we do not want it in our organisation. And if someone like yourself doesn't come forth and put in and, you know, raise it, then we don't know what to do with it either. So we don't even know that it's happening. So so thank you for that. You've been really, you know, courageous. So
thank you. Thanks for listening as well. It's nice to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
And have someone that's actually listening and validating
No,
what's
no,
happened.
yeah, no, I'm more than happy to do that. And as I said, I've got the easy part writing it, but it is hard enough for me to even listen to. So I'll definitely, we'll definitely be doing something about it. So so I just guess the first steps from here will be that I'm going to hand this to the manager. And they're going to have a proper managers team meeting about it. And as I said, it sort of can take up to 10 days for that to happen.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm going to write a letter, probably tomorrow. I'll probably get it in the mail today, to be honest. So if that's okay with you, to your service provider, and they can give you a call, etc., and have a chat to you about that.
Yeah.
And they might, be able to talk you through, different strategies, etc., for dealing with this type of problem going forward, just so you're really resilient, you're really prepared if it happens again. I will be keeping in contact with you during the whole time. I'll just give you a ring every day or two if that's okay. But if you're coming past, or have you got any other courses in the next 10 days? I don't think you have.
No.
If you're going past and you feel like popping in, you can do that, make some time for you there. And otherwise, just give me something like that. If you want to come and see me, we'll make a time. So, but I'm there for you.
Thank you.
I'll be your support for this. I think we've just about wrapped it all up. Said, well, I need you to sign the bottom line here, if you wouldn't mind. You are happy that what we've written in there was okay. I trust, yes. And as I said, we will keep this confidential. The only time that we, as in this industry, don't keep anything confidential is when you give us permission not to. Like I've just asked your permission to write to the counsellor for you. And the other reason might be if someone's life is in danger, we might have to disclose, because that's part of our job as well. So, but in this case, that's not the case, but it will be kept as confidential as can, but we still need to investigate, and you understand. Correct.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming in today. Thank you for being so brave. And I really love that, the idea of building it into our structure, a little bit of educational, and we're going to have to talk a little bit about that, and we might, even talk to you about it as well, about what sort of aspects, because there's a lot of refugees from all over the place, and there's a lot of different cultures here. So it'd be good to incorporate something like that into our services.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to me.
That's all right. Thank you. I'll see you around. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.